I thought I would wrap up Black History Month with just a futuristic look at the black community going forward from 2014 into the future. And one thing that, I want to speak, when I talk about issues like this, I want to speak with consistency because consistency is everything. The N word doesn't do too much for the black community at all. Doesn't do anything for our culture overall, doesn't do anything for our music, the music that we listen to. It doesn't do anything for our children. It doesn't do anything for our relationships, our friendships, our families. It doesn't provide a base or a foundation. See, like I said, people don't do their research on the N word, which is sad. And then again, you'll have your prototypical black folks that will sit there and they'll look at this video. They'll say, "Hey, man, I understand that it was a part of slavery, but you can't live thousands or hundreds of years ago." They'll bring that logic to the situation. And yeah, you can't live in the past. It's not about living in the past. It's about using the past to strengthen your future. But they don't understand that. They'll come at you with the straw man argument. They'll put the straw man right in front of their faces, and then they'll TKO it. And then they'll say that, my argument or my stance on this doesn't really matter. But if if the past serves as anything, it should serve as a reference point for all of us to look at it and say we have to use that to become stronger. Now, what part of using the N word strengthens the future for black folks going forward from now, 2014 into the future? What kind of foundation does that use or does that provide for black folks going forward? See, this is something that they won't answer. They won't answer that question because it's a rhetorical question. And if they do have an answer for it, then hey, maybe you should just stop talking to them overall. I mean, that's not my fault if you want to talk to these people that don't understand what a rhetorical question is. The answer is that it doesn't provide anything going towards the future. Now, like I said, man, when you listen to the music, on the radio, it's N word this, N word that, N word this, N word that. Even some of my favorite rappers of all time use the N word. All right, and some of them use it in different contexts, and some of them see the word as describing, a situation or a complication and basically relating to their audience. But most of the people that use the N word use it to connect to a certain audience to get their money. Now, if you can list off a quick, top 10 of rappers or top 5 of rappers, you can say for sure lyrically they're going to say the word, but overall from the basis of, do they provide you with storytelling? Because that's basically what rap is. It's a version of storytelling. The better the storyteller, the more connected they are to their audience. And if you can bring up, a fantasy in a person's mind and a customer's mind, then you connect to their audience. And the N word is basically a way that a lot of rappers, or a method that a lot of rappers use to connect with their audience. Because that's, hey, people go out to these stores and spend, 13, 14 bucks on the music because they can relate to it. Now, all the rappers that don't use the N word as prominently probably don't have as good of sales because they don't connect. They can't relate. They're considered maybe a sellout, or maybe if they're not even black, they're just considered just another rapper, or maybe a wannabe. Shouldn't be that way, but hey, that's what the rules are. And if you're a black rapper, or if you're a non-black rapper, and you just so happen to come across this video, I'm not saying that your numbers aren't good. I mean, it's already been proven that your numbers can be good from a lyrical standpoint if you on point. But my whole basis into going into the music is the fact that the N word doesn't do anything for the music. It doesn't do anything for the culture either. But people continuously instill this into their friendships. They continuously put this into their children. And going forward into 2014 into the future, do you really want the N word to basically hold down your children? Do you want it to hold down your community? Because that's what it's. I mean, that's kind of what it does. And people, like I said, people can, we're not talking about slave mentality. We're not blaming nobody. Nobody from my standpoint, in the United States of America, for right now, is being enslaved. All right, the only people that's being enslaved are the ones that are blaming white folks for their problems. You can't blame white folks for your problems because they ain't chaining you up no more. And that might be a controversial thought, but hey, you listening to the video, so I must be saying something correct, right? But at the end of the day, man, the N word doesn't do anything for these folks, man. And during Black History Month, you would think that people would come to the realization and say, hey, MLK didn't use the N word, but he made a difference. Malcolm X hated the N word, and he made a difference. I mean, come on, that's just two examples. We can go down the line and say that all these people rose above the N word. They didn't instill it into their lives. They didn't make it a part of everyday life. They didn't try to flip it and say, hey, man, you know, this is who we are. We're N words, right? Like I said, they'll come at you with the straw man argument. And they'll say, oh, man, that was so many years ago. We're not trapped. We're not enslaved, man. Which is true. That part of it is true. But what they'll sit there and they'll try to flip it and say, all right, let me take the ER off the end and put an A on the end. And that just gives it a different meaning. I mean, it's the same word, but it's a different meaning. No, it's the same word with the same meaning. If you want to live by the Urban Dictionary, a dictionary that not too many people are reading or using or speaking by, at least the people with sense, you'll understand why the use of this word only holds us back. Now, if you're teaching your little child to speak this word, to instill this word into their lifestyle, to use this word to build a foundation on for their future, then what are you really doing? Are you helping them or are you hurting them? Do you hope that they grow up and be N words, or do you hope that they grow up and be difference makers and leaders? You'd be like, okay, famous rappers out there, like I said, they'll come back at you with the same argument. All famous rappers use it. That's business. I guarantee you, walking down the street with their family, somebody that they know come up to them in front of their family and say it, they'll look at you like you're strange. I'm pretty sure they will. That's not an excuse for using it, no doubt. That's not an excuse or a reason for using it, but it's all propaganda. It's smoke and mirrors. They don't say it because that's how they really feel. Maybe they did back in the day when they were struggling. But they say it because you guys are going to go out and you guys are going to buy their product. Because of the fact that you think that they're trying to connect with you. When in actuality, it's smoke and mirrors just to get your money. That's the reason why they rent cars and rent chains. Because they want to get the perception of a lifestyle. Get a perception of, hey, I'm just like you. But they're not like you. I feel bad for all the people that get called N words that don't want to be even associated with this definition of what an N word is. Now you ask me, what's the solution going forward? The solution is The solution is you. All y'all black folks that might listen to this video, the solution is you. We're talking about consistency with, with words and actions. People say, it's just a word. You have to let it go. Anybody with sense that watches this video will understand why this video took place. They'll understand why I'm saying it. They'll understand in the content or the context of why I'm saying it and the way I'm saying it. They'll all understand that. Some might agree, some might not agree. Some will say that the word doesn't hurt at all. Okay, so if the word that this is where I shut people up. This is the part of the video where I shut people up. If the word doesn't hurt at all, then why are black men killing other black men so much? How come black women have so many children out of wedlock? How come? Is it because of the N word? Is it because of the standard that the N word has set, that you instill into your life? You want to be an N word. That's N word activity. That's ignorant activity. That's what the word means. It means ignorance. That's what it means at the end of the day, at its core. It's describing ignorance, being oblivious, being dangerous, not knowing your surroundings, not being smart enough to figure out bad trends and stop them. But black people don't see this, man. They don't feel it. They don't understand it. It's 2014 and going forward, they're still going to call themselves N-words. And the people that are in position to stop saying the word and to tell people to stop saying the word and stop using the word, for money, stop using the word for personal gain, stop using the word to build a foundation for their family and their communities. The ones that's in position to say stop using this word won't say stop using this word because they're too busy making money off the word. But you folks don't understand that. You guys feel as though that, yeah, man, they saying it, so hey, maybe I should say it. Maybe I should just build my life around it. But everything that I just said about, you know, black men killing black men, black women, having babies out of wedlock, left and right, more black men in jail than there is in college. That's N-word activity. And notice I haven't said the actual word during this video. They feel as though the N-words can only speak on the N-word, which is sad. The solution is you. Do you want to be known as an N-word? Do you care what other people think about you? Those are questions that I have. I don't care what most people think about me. That's the reason why I could do this video and get ridiculed if people watch it. But the bottom line of the whole situation is that the only way that the black community, or one of the ways that the black community can rise up and start being leaders and entrepreneurs and turning corners, is with the slow death of this word in our communities. But one thing for sure, one thing I know for sure, I guarantee will happen. It'll probably never truly happen. Not saying that I don't have faith in black folk. I have plenty of faith in black folk. It's just that when it comes to progression, the black community is just a couple steps behind. And yeah, like I said, people will sit up there and they'll put the straw man right in front of them and knock it out, and they'll say that it's slavery. People, folks, you are not enslaved in 2014. The only slavery that exists for the people that could probably hear this video is mental slavery. And the N word, all right, this is the kill shot right here for all the people that watch the whole video. The N word is a huge part of the symptoms of mental slavery. The more you use it, The more you try to base your community and your family and your lifestyle around this word, this symbol of ignorance, this symbol of hurt, this symbol of hate, and try to flip it around and put an A at the end of it, just goes to show you that people condone this activity. They condone the things that's wrong in our community. And they will refuse to stand up for it. And they're comfortable with being called that. They're comfortable with it all. It's sad to say it, man. Black History Month. Teach your kids, man, about the real history of the men and women that came before them. Whether you agree with, MLK, whether you agree with Malcolm X or the other inventors or activists out there, Thurgood Marshall, whether you agree with any of their lifestyles, those people stood up long enough to try to make a difference. And going forward, man, the solution is you. See you guys next time.